What's good, YouTube? This is Rage Real. So in today's video, I want to show you guys how I love to run tight doubles in Madden 22. So if you enjoy this video, go and drop a like on the video right now. Go in and sub and turn those post notifications on. So I do want to thank you guys for checking out my video. And one thing I do want to say is that I'm a little bit under the weather, but I have been recovering pretty well. I think I just got a little cold, but I'm in the stage now where I can actually talk and do videos. So yeah, so if you hear me cough or have to take a drink of water, I do apologize, but I'm trying. But anyways, we got tight doubles here. Now, as far as personnel, I'll go over that when we get in the video. But one of the only things I will say about, the only thing I don't like about this formation is that it's not many bomb plays in it, but they have some nice concepts that you can cook up, and I'm gonna just try to do a good job of showing you guys that. So this may end up turning into like a two-part, or I might just do everything in one video. I haven't decided yet, depending on how fast we can move through the video. I hope this video is about 15 minutes long or so, and just, you know, let me know how you guys like this video. So kind of looking through here, the only thing I don't like is that there's no actually deep plays. So like there's no deep post, there's no, you know, S post type of plays, so it's gonna be a little hard to actually move the ball against double purple man coverage. But I'll explain in here how I like to actually do that, because there's definitely ways you can manipulate it based on how everybody sets up their double purples. So I'm excited to actually get into that. And it also has some nice zone concepts too, that's going to force your opponent to go to man coverage, which is, you know, you use these plays I'm about to give you, and then you shouldn't have no problems moving the ball against man coverage. And honestly, it's a really fun formation to run. So anyways, the plays that I'm going over in today's video, I'm going to talk about double stick, I'm going to go over flood, and I'm going to go over curl, and then we're actually going to come out in Z spot right here. So that's actually going to be the way that we run this offense. So now I'm going to do everything out of the dollar, just because it's what you'll probably see. You'll probably see some dollar man coverage, some dollar zones. So I got some garbage D-line in here, so I got time to throw. We're going to go ahead and have Henry Black here and Will Redmond, because they're really fast safeties. And I'm actually going to put Stokes on the outside, because most people are going to put Stokes on the outside. And then we're going to go ahead and put, we'll put King back here in the slot, and then we'll have Yedim, or however you pronounce his name, we'll have him in the slot, because I know he's like 90 speed. So this is exactly how we're looking right here. So let's actually set up the defense. So it's going to be, I'm going to show you guys just some cover 4 drop, cover 2, cover 3, and I'm going to show you guys some the different man coverage variations. So let's just start off in cover 3 for now. So one thing I will say is that I'm gonna be running this offense on the in the middle of the field. Now, what I recommend you do, like if you could tell if we're gonna be targeting like the right side of the field, then put the ball on the left hash, you know, or if we're gonna be targeting the left side of the field, you know, make sure you're on the right hash. So I'm staying in the middle, but you know, if you want to, you can stay in the middle too. But basically, you always want to attack the field. Basically, you never really want to attack the short side unless the play is specifically designed for that. But none of these plays are really designed for that. So starting off with Z spot, there's a couple things I like to do with this play. So one standard setup I love out of Z spot is actually take a circle, put them on a streak. I like the smart route X's route. So to do that, you press triangle, press X, and you'll hit R1 to smart route them. So since it's 1st and 10, that's why it's smart route at 10 yards. And then what I do here, I would normally like to take them and just motion them out. Now you can motion snap it, or you can let them set. It's really up to you. Now most of the time, you're going to be looking for this table route, because more than likely your opponent's not going to be playing a hard flat on this side. So literally you're going to look between this table route, or you're going to look between triangle, because these two routes are normally always going to be open. So they're really quick reads. So first I'll show you triangle, so you can tell right there, boom, you want to go ahead and throw the ball. Now if they're playing a hook curl, that's exactly how they play. And that will let you know if they're actually zone dropping a hook curl or not, because if they don't zone drop a hook curl, hook curls don't normally respond that way. But what I wanted to tell you too is that quick read. So you see here, boom, we can throw that. That's easily about a 2-3 yard gain right there. You know, about 3 yards. I would say. I think I gave you about 3 yards on that. And also you can throw this table out too, which I'll show you here in a second. But if you want to, as soon as he drops, you can throw this ball right here, which I'll show you here in a second. So I really love this play as far as a quick read. So if the user's sitting over here on the snap of the ball, I'm automatically looking between these two combo routes right here if I see the user over here. Now, snapping the ball, if I see the user on this side, I'm actually immediately looking at this table route. That's my thought process, immediately looking at that. So this is just a boom boom play, if that makes sense, you know. Also, I have another boom boom setup for you too. And also, what I was telling you, that X normally will not get open, so don't count on that route getting open. I just smart route it just in case. Now, if it's like 2nd and like 15, 2nd and 20 or something, if you're in some type of predicament like that, Smart running his route will get over, you know, standard zones. They'll have to zone drop, of course, if they want to stop that on like a 2nd and 20. But what I was trying to tell you guys is that R1, that's normally just a boom boom play. So you pick up 3 to 4 yards, maybe that's all you're looking for out of that. But if your opponent is usering on this guy right here and he goes and guards the running back, so I kind of simulate that by just doing this for you. So if you run this concept again and they go over there, then what I'm immediately looking at is going to hit square route just right there, and you're going to gain about 10 to 11 yards. So you really just want to be aggravating with that setup, honestly. Now I will show you the same read is very, very real to make in cover 2. It's legit going to be the same exact thing. It's just a boom boom. That's I don't know. That's just this is what I like to call it, you know. So basically, in cover 2, triangle is normally going to always be open. You can tell triangle is going to be open. Now with this one, that mirror is going to do a great job of matching. So it's really not a cover 2 concept. It's basically, I like this play versus cover 4 or cover 3, or if they are zone dropping, because a lot of times you'll be able to have this hitch wide open. Like I said, you could have easily took this. And if the user was on the other side, so if they took that hitch away with their user, then normally I like to just kind of wait, and then sometimes you can actually throw this pass in this little gap. But I only like doing that if the ball is on the left hash mark, if that makes sense. So I'll show you real quick, but I don't plan on being open, and the reason why is because we're running it to the short side, and you never want to run the flood concept to the short side of the field. So that's why you see we have you see this right here. This is called the flood concept. We have a corner route with a flat route street combo. That's called a flood concept. So you never want to run a flood concept like that. So what I was trying to tell you, if we're not getting hollered at, sometimes you can have that throw, but 9 times out of 10, you just want to take the safe off and just dump it down, you know. So this is something I like to come to whenever I just kind of want to see what they're doing on defense. So you can tell right here that we'll just hit the flat route, you know, maybe possession, catch it or whatever. But or of course hit the vertical hook, not vertical hook, you hit this stop right here. So that's how I like to do this. But this basically this play for me, I really love this play against man coverage. I was just showing you like some things I like to do. But if it's man coverage, what I like to do with this play is take circle, put them on a streak, take triangle, put them on a zig route, and then I like to actually motion snap this route right here. So let me kind of show you why I like this. So a lot of times people are going to play inside and underneath against man coverage. Let me actually spy him. So a lot of times they're going to play inside and underneath, and they're going to just use this guy to roam around with, right? So with this setup, you're basically just reading between circle and you're looking at square, right? So right here you can tell we have that low ball, and normally in routes are going to destroy man coverage. They will literally, they're designed to just kill man coverage, honestly. And this normally should be your best receiver. I actually recommend you putting your best receiver right here, because if he's a great route runner, even if they play aggressive style man, he's going to get a win animation on the zig route if that's your best receiver. So you can tell right here Julio did toast him. Now that doesn't happen all the time. That only happens if you have a really good receiver, and even then that still doesn't happen all the time. So I really love this setup because it's going to force your opponent to have to play double purples. So you might mean, real, why is that? Because what's going to happen is that, for one, this zig route is going to push back any purples if there is one, and then for two, this backside slant is going to have to be user guarded, right? So if your opponent wants to go user guard this slant, then guess what he's giving up? You see how he's going to be giving up this in route right here. So you will just literally be able to just kill him with this concept. And it's also a double purple killer too, just because the purple is going to get pulled by this corner route. So we'll have basically a double-sided read, if that makes sense. So I'll just kind of walk you through it. So Z spot I really love against man. Don't worry, I got plays that I really love just specifically against zones. I probably should have started off the video with that. My bad. But anyway, for you guys that's still here, you're gonna get the good setups, honestly. So circle on the slant, triangle on the zig route, and then you want to go ahead and motion them across. So with this setup, basically you never want to look at X. Now if you have like a tight end apprentice, put them on a corner route and then smart route it, and it's gonna, you actually have that viable. But this by itself, this corner route is not a man beater corner route, so it's not going to beat man coverage every single time. And yes, I do like the smart route X's route still. So go ahead and motion them across. And what I was trying to tell you is that sometimes you can still have that slant in that window. But what's nice about this setup is that that in route and that purple are never going to be able to guard it. So like that purple will never be able to guard that in route. And the reason why is because this purple is going to get widened out by this corner route. So you see how that purple is getting widened out, and that's going to allow this natural gap. Now the only thing that will cover this is actually a vertical hook. So your opponent will have to play like a vertical hook style. And if they play a vertical hook style, I kind of show you what we can do against that. You basically just want to do a motion over slant, like a backside slant, and that would just absolutely destroy this defense. So it's a lot that you can do with this. You can tell if they shade over the top, normally you'll get a good win animation. and this zig route is going to widen out any of the purples, and that's going to create this throw right here. So you can tell it's the same exact concept that the user is going to have to choose between an in route or a backside slant, well, motion over slant. And this motion over slant cannot get pressed just because that's how it works. They won't let them get a press. And if you have a good receiver right here, that's a very easy throw to make. So that's exactly how I love to run this play. Now, another thing I like to do too is, I was just going to mention it, is that I'll take circle, put him on a streak. This is versus zone coverage, by the way, and I like to motion this guy out because this motioned over a little in route is going to be good too. You want to wait for the hook curl to go down, and then you'll be able to throw that right over the top, and you want to just make that same read that I talked to you about at the beginning of the video. So I don't want to go into replay on that. Well, actually, I do. I'll go into replay really quick. So it's the same read concept. I mean, you hit the flat route if it's open, if you want to read that side. So you're basically seeing where the user is. If the user wants the user on this side, then of course we'll just go ahead and, you know, hit this hitch route, or we'll wait half a second and then see if that in route gets open. Now, I love that against everything other than cover 2. Keep that in mind, all right? So let's go ahead and move on. So double stick is my favorite versus like a Mabel style coverage, or versus standard zone coverages, or even zone drops. Honestly, it really works against everything other than match and man coverage. So anything other than match and man coverage, use this setup right here. So what you want to do, you actually want to take circle. I like to put them on a hitch, and then you want to take X, put them on a curl. You want to take your running back, put them on a swing route, and then you want to motion over this hitch, and you want to snap the ball right between the receiver and the number. So right about there, and what's going to happen? Why did they run into each other? Okay, that normally does not happen, but okay, my bad. I forgot. You want to take triangle and put them on a curl route, so that way you don't have to worry about them doing that. Because you see how it's an option route. Now that depends on what kind of zones they're playing, but I like to make sure, I like to know where my people are going at all times. So I like to take triangle, put them on a curl route. Then I take X, put them on a curl route too. I take R1, put them on a swing route. Then I take circle, put them on a hitch, and then we're going to go and motion them across. So I really don't like the option routes if I'm running this style of defense, because this is just me making quick reads. So you can tell circle. Oh, I got baited. I should have had triangle. Triangle definitely was the one open. I really got baited. Wow, they actually did a good job on that one. But that's how you want to make sure you don't get baited like I just did. But you can tell. So if you want just a reference so you don't get baited, the hook curl, this is how they will play. They'll actually come up top and then they'll come down at the last second. So this will definitely be a read, and you can tell the hook curl is going to chill here. So if your opponent is using it right here, he has to make a choice between this curl or this curl. Because what's going to happen is that this flat route is going to widen out that cornerback. So we have this throw right here that's going to be open. If you want this throw, you have to throw it now. You see I kind of waited, and you know I didn't really throw it now. I waited, yeah. So you want to throw that. You want to make that throw now, which I guess I'll show you real quick. That's going to be your now read. So let's go back to let's stay in cover 3, and let's go to double stick. Here we go right here. So you can also take triangle, put them on a hitch too. Now if you do a hitch by triangle, you want to take circle and put them on a curl route, then curl route, and then you want to go ahead and motion over this curl route with R1 on a swing route, and then you're basically just inverting the responsibility. So now you'll just be looking at circle or triangle. You see how he sucks down, and we'll be able to hit circle right there. So that's one variation that I do like too, because we're separating, you know, the user. So you're probably wondering like, well, what do you mean by you're separating the user? So basically what I mean, you remember how we ran that curl route and he was open like right here? This is where the curl route was sitting up right here. So you notice how the gap is now widened between where the user would be. So like, let's say if this is the user, right? So there's absolutely no way he'll be able to make it over here. You see what I'm saying? So that's when I would use this variation. So if it's a really good user, I would use this variation, because it you know, he has to commit to one way. So if he's on this side though, then you'll have to be careful about that. So that's one thing I will mention with that. But my other favorite setup that I will show you guys too, because this video is getting a little bit longer than I like. So let's go back to flood. Actually no, let's go to curl. So with curl, what I like to do is smart route, squares route. I like to take triangle, put them on a streak. Then I like to take X, put them on a curl, take circle, put them on a hitch, and then we're actually going to motion over this route right here. Now this is actually one of my favorite plays, just because we're gonna have an easy backside read. So you see circle is gonna get open, and also if you wait, square is gonna do a nice job of climbing open and getting over pretty much every single standard zone. Now the only zones that it has trouble getting over with this particular setup is cover 2. But the reason I really love this setup though is because what's going to happen is you're basically seeing where the user is. So if the user is on this side of the field, then what's going to happen is he has to make a choice, right? So we have a curl route, and we have a hitch, and we have a flat route. So that flat route is going to widen out any outside zones. this hitch route is normally going to always be open by concept. You see how, you know, he's going to fare towards this, and normally you'll be able to have this right here, and the user will have to go guard this. So we basically have two things that's happening on two different sides of the field that's going to require a user to be there, just because we're manipulating the CPU basically. So again, I like to show you that versus cover 2, and actually I really love this. The only thing I don't like about this, I would say, against cover 2 is that if you don't have a route pulling down on that left side, then square sometimes does get guarded. But I'll give you a different variation of this setup too, specifically for cover 2. So let's go ahead and snap the ball right about here, and then I'll show you on top of a circle. You can tell it was open, but X is also going to get open. And what I was trying to explain to you is that you can potentially throw square. It's just that you kind of want to wait and then try to get them open with a hard pass lead, which I'll show you in a second. But look at the fight by the D-line though. This is crazy, and these are all garbage people. But anyways, what I was trying to tell you is that this is how you'd want to do it. So you'd want to drift out here in the pocket, and you're making the user choose, because he's going to see this guy wide open, but he's also going to be able to see this guy running into an area that's going to get wide open. You see how far that cornerback sucked down. So a lot of times if you just keep, you know, drifting out, you'll be able to throw this on a nice pass lead up, if that makes sense, if you're not just getting hollered at like I am. So that's why I said that, you know, I really love this concept, you know. So if you find yourself getting bagged though, if they're running cover 2 with this particular setup, then what I like to do is just switch it up a little bit. So I'll take triangle, still put them on a streak, and then I'll actually take circle, put them on a hitch, and I'll take X, put them on a drag, and then I'll go ahead and motion them across. So if you find yourself getting bagged on cover 2, then definitely use this setup, because a lot of times what's going to happen is circle can get open on the hitch if you wanted it, but if you do, you'll wait, and then that drag route is actually going to pull down that cornerback, and it's going to create a nice dot for you. So that's exactly how I love to utilize that play. Now I will show you that versus cover 4 drop. So you might be curious about if that can actually get past that cover 4 drop, and I'll be able to show you that right now. So let's take X, put him on a curl, take a circle, put him on a hitch, and then we're going to go and motion him across. And I like to snap the ball right about here. Normally that's where I like to snap it, to where they create some great space. You can tell I had circle open. Look, I'm getting hollered at, but what you can tell is that square definitely, what's going on? All right, I'm still up. All right, cool. Oh wow, I was about to say I'm the best. But what you'll be able to tell is that we actually had a nice gap that we was able to hit if I would have threw the ball. But let me actually show you. So right here, you can always have this. You'll be able to have this all day and night. Now I'm only drifting in the pocket just to kind of show you how everything flows, but you're more than welcome to kind of drift this way and then just hit a bullet pass right here. That's what I would recommend. But what I was trying to explain to you is that quarter right here won't actually play it. He'll just kind of just sit there and watch it, and you'll be able to deliver this right to the sideline, because this hook zone is actually not going to carry it the whole way. You can tell that's an easy dot right there. You can easily throw that. If I don't know what's going on here, but anyways, let's keep this train moving. So with curl, I might save flood for a little later, because I might save flood for a little later, because it's already getting this video is getting really long. So I really love curls against man coverage. So if they're playing a heavy style man coverage, one thing I do like to do is take triangle, put him on a slant, and I like to take X, put him on a streak, just to kind of move him out the way. And sometimes I motion this over, or sometimes I leave it. But this route right here, you can tell we are in man coverage with just a standard man. This route right here by square is actually a design man beater for a corner route. So I'm just going to show you that. It's actually really rare to find hard beating corner routes. Of course, when I say that, he gets bagged. But if you want him to actually beat it every single time, just go ahead and motion him out, and that's actually going to not allow him to get pressed, and it's going to create basically a free release corner route, which I'll go ahead and show you that here. So let's actually take him. You see him motion him out, snap the ball, and normally what's going to happen is that he'll get his foot in the ground, and that's the animation I'm looking for, because you see how he kind of got like a speed burst. That's how that lets you know right there that yes, it's a man beating corner route. And I'm not going to go into replay. I'm just going to show you again. That's one thing I hate about practice mode. That's why I like to show you guys gameplay and everything like that, because sometimes practice mode does some weird stuff like that. So let's go ahead and take him, motion him out again, snap the ball. Like I said, normally I like that just because you see how he's going to be able to stick his foot in the ground. That will happen just about every single time. I'm going to run it for you literally one more time, and then I'll talk about my other setups and all that. But I just want to explain to you guys that, you know, this corner route is really good. And think about it, this is some dude named Rogers. I really don't know who he is, but you can tell they're constantly giving him an instant win basically on it. So that lets you know that it's for sure a man beating route. So you can tell right here, boom. Of course he doesn't. So it's basically it's consistent. It's just practice mode, but trust me, take it to game, especially if you're worried about it, putting an actual decent player here, and you're going to be able to feast, honestly. So curls, another setup I like. So what's going to have your opponent do? They're going to have to start playing purple. So if they start playing purples, then what I like to do is still come back to this play, but I'll take triangle, put them on a curl, And then from here, I'll actually take circle, put him on a curl, and I'll take X and put him on a drag. So essentially what's going to happen is this drag's going to widen out the purple. This flat route is going to widen out the purple. So you're basically making a read between circle and triangle. So it's basically just making a read on those corner routes, not corner routes, those curl routes, excuse me, because when they shade over the top, they're never going to be able to, I'm not going to say never, unless they have acrobat and Madden gives them some fluke, they will never be able to guard that. A curl route. But keep in mind, like I said, as long as they don't have acrobat, because acrobat just acrobat goes crazy sometimes. But in theory, the way I didn't mean to snap the ball, but the way that the game is designed, they should never be able to play those. But like I said, that's just theory though. But this is the last thing I do want to talk about. I know this video has been extremely long, and I appreciate all you guys who sat through here. I hope you guys found something valuable out of this video, because I actually really like tight doubles. I think it's a really good formation. I think you just need I think you need an outside apprentice to really make this offense flourish, to be honest with you, because there's not enough deep routes like deep post or nothing like that to actually push any zones back or anything like that. So that's the only downside of this offense, but other than that, it's still really fun. But let's go ahead and shade over the top, and I do want to show you that this read is definitely possible. So now we're going to hit circle. You see, anytime it's shaded over the top, and Jared does have acrobat, and that's normally what happens. They'll normally light up, but they normally won't let them animate, and that's really just because they're shading over the top with their man coverage, because it's just programmed that way for them to play over the top. They're going to, you see he's over the top of him. That's because the coverage that you called, well, they called, and you can tell we have that right there. So basically this read, I like this play just because it's going to allow you to see what they're doing, because if they don't have double purples, we'll be able to know that instantly. So you might be wondering how, because if they didn't, then you wouldn't see this purple widen out, and you wouldn't see this purple right here widen out for our corner route, because we'll be able to hit that corner. You can tell right here he actually got a really good animation, which, like I said, it normally does happen that way. But anyways, you can tell we have this dot right here, or we have this dot. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Do let me know if you guys like it when I kind of give you guys basically like a ebook, because this is pretty much what it was, showing you guys just like 3-4 different plays that I like, 3-4 different setups. So just kind of let me know in the comments if it's too long, too short, if I didn't do a good job explaining. I truly love hearing from you guys. Even if you just comment and say what's up, I'll comment back, say what's up. I'm not too Hollywood for you guys, man. I love commenting and talking to y'all. But anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. I do hope you have a blessed day. I'm Rage Real, and I'm out.